Welcome to the ITU studio here at GSR-25, the Global Symposium for Regulators, which is being held this year in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. And I'm very pleased to be joined in the studio today by Dr. Cosmas Luckyson Zavazava, who is the Director of the Telecommunication Development Bureau of ITU. Dr. Zavazava, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, Max.
It's a pleasure to see you. Always a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Absolutely, same here.
And very much being here in your event. So you're very welcome indeed. Now, this year we're celebrating 25 years of the Global Symposium for Regulators, GSR, which is no mean feat for any event. It seems that GSR has really stood the test of time. And I would like to ask you, why is this symposium so relevant and unique?
Well, I think GSRI has always been the lighthouse of the telecom sector. And as we have moved into the information and communication sector, it is important that we adapt to the changing environment, because there have been a lot of evolutions over time. If you go 25 years ago, 10 years ago, and now, there has been a lot of evolution. And it is important that at this particular moment in time, we look back and we look ahead of us and make sure the regulators are ready.
What do you expect from GSR-25?
One of the things that we are going to adopt out of this meeting, GSR-25, are best practice guidelines, which are the GPS of all regulators. We have to take into account the evolving external environment, particularly in the tech sector. Now we are in an era of collaborative regulation, and that's why the theme of GSR-25 has 8 thematic topics. To mention just a few: connect. We have to make sure that everybody is connected in a sustainable, affordable, meaningful way. We also have trust, to make sure that people are secure when they go online. We have include, which means we have to make sure that we include even those who live in remote rural areas or who are indigenous populations and have no real access. So infrastructure must be available for them for connectivity, but also digital skills are very important for them. And there are many other things that make regulation the must-have and not just the dessert for them. So it is very important. Here at GSR-25, we are discussing issues pertaining to emerging technologies also, and our regulators can be on top of their game. For example, artificial intelligence and governance issues, ethics issues, how regulators can be able to tame the changing environment. Greening digital is quite important for environmental protection. There are many other topics that are topical, which need intervention by regulators. But we are in an era of collaborative regulation, going beyond working in silos, where the digital regulators just discuss technology. Technology without impact on people is empty. So we want to make sure that the regulators in the financial sector and many other sectors, education, health, etc., they come to the table. And then we influence and support the ecosystem.
Now, so far I've heard that we've got a record number of participants here. What do you think is the key to GSR's success?
The key to GSR's success is the thanks to industry that continues to innovate. But most importantly, our engagement with the industry, academia, and all the other stakeholders. Our constituency is normally the regulators and the ministries, but the impact is felt elsewhere. So it is important for us to open doors. And I can tell you, if you look at the figures of the number of new players who are joining ITU, particularly from the private sector, it's impressive, unprecedented. So it becomes even more relevant. And we have created also an event for the private sector and the industry to meet before GSR starts.
The IAGG group.
Yes, it is the industry private sector advisory group for the development sector. And then they will share with the regulators their perspectives and the narratives and their understanding of the ecosystem. And if they see impediments or challenges, they will say it openly to the regulators. And that relationship is very important. It is also part of the collaborative regulation.
And finally, putting you a little bit on the back foot here perhaps, but I don't know, but what are your hopes for the future?
My hope for the future is that actually it's summarized by our two strategic goals. Universal, meaningful, affordable connectivity on one hand, that no individual, no matter what their station in life is, should be online and make a choice whether to connect or not connect, and it should benefit from digital dividends. Second, it is for us to engage in sustainable digital transformation and be able to change the way we do business. If it is the government helping the populations to receive government services, they should do so without the fear of them being hacked. Or also, of course, in this era we talk about deepfake, misinformation, hallucination, etc. We have to make sure that the regulators are there and they protect the population. We have 2.6 billion people who remain offline, although I can tell you prematurely that number is going down. Because last year, compared to 2023, we had 538 million people who were connected, but we could not destabilize the 2.6 billion to go down, but very soon we will be publishing, and we know the trend is that there are going to be less and less people.
Excellent.
Regulation, important for industry players because the regulators are the referees, and it's important for them to show the way and make sure that there is fair play, because consumer protection is also their responsibility.
Yeah, much maligned sometimes referees, but very, very important indeed. You're quite right.
They have the red card.
They have the red card. Absolutely, they can make that. They can make that decision. Well, that's wonderful, Dr. Cosmas Luckyson Zavazava. Thank you so much for being with us in the studio. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. Thank you very much indeed. We wish you the greatest success for this event and for the ones coming up in the future.
You're welcome, Max, and thank you very much for having me here. Thank you.
And if you've enjoyed this interview, which I'm sure you will have, then do check out our other interviews on our YouTube channel, as well as our podcasts on our podcast channels. And for further information, why not visit our website at www.itu.int. Thanks for tuning in.